Yo, what is up, guys? My name is Nicholas Earl, and welcome back to another episode of Earl Sports Bets. And today, we get some opening day MLB baseball. I'm so excited for this season. But before we get into the video, you guys know what to do. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and turn on post notifications so you guys are notified each and every time we come out with the video here at Earl Sports Bets. You can also follow us on our social medias at BetsEarl on Twitter, at Earl Sports Bets on Instagram. We also have a Discord link if you guys want to join that. The link to that will be in the description of the video down below. And we also have merch for Earl Sports Bets. If you guys want to check that out and support the channel that way, the link to that will also be in the description of the video down below. But, as always, leave your best bet for MLB opening day tomorrow in the comment section below. All right, as we are joined here with my brother here, Tim. You ready for some opening day baseball?
Only since the last game of the World Series last year.
All right, then let's not waste let's not waste any time here. We are going to hop right in with a 1 o'clock game. We have the New York Yankees taking on the Toronto Blue Jays. Minus 179 for the Yankees, plus 165 for the Blue Jays. The starting pitchers are going to be Garrett Cole and Hyun-Jin Ryu. Your thoughts on this opening day game?
The fact that we get to start off by seeing this young Blue Jays team in the first game of the year is going to be quite fun to see. I think one of my headphones just died, but that's fine. I do think it should be a fun year for them, for the Blue Jays. I don't think it starts off that well. I do think the Yankees will end up winning the game. Garrett Cole is probably one of the better pitchers in the league, and definitely has the shot at the Cy Young Award. So it's going to be hard to go bet against the Yankees in this one. I'm not going to be betting this one just because Yankees line is minus 179. Just not a spot that I want to get to, but it should be a fun game to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to be in action for this game, and I really like this New York Yankees team. They're going to be a really talented team, and they just match up really well against Hyun-Jin Ryu. They have a righty-dominated lineup with DJ LeMahieu and Aaron Judge and Aaron Hicks, so Giancarlo Stanton, Gleyber Torres, Gio Urshela, Gary Sanchez. Like, this is a very talented New York Yankees team. I think they're going to be able to beat this young Blue Jays team. I think the Blue Jays are going to be very talented this year. They're going to have a good season. They might sneak into a wild card spot, but I'm taking the New York Yankees on the run line, plus 115 tomorrow, getting a little bit of better value of taking laying the minus 1.5. I think the Yankees should win this game by a decent margin. Garrett Cole is a hell of a pitcher. He's the number 2 or 3 pitcher in the league, behind definitely Jacob deGrom and potentially Shane Bieber. But I really like this New York Yankees team to come out here and get a win tomorrow and cover that run line on the minus 1.5. All right, we're going to head to our next game here, our second 1 o'clock game, and then we're going to head into a 2 o'clock game. We have the Cleveland Indians at the Detroit Tigers, minus 185 for the Indians, plus 170 for the Tigers. Over under of 7.5 runs for this game. Our starting pitchers will be reigning AL Cy Young winner Shane Bieber for the Indians and Matthew Boyd for the Detroit Tigers. Any opinions on this game?
Shane Bieber is probably going to have another really, really good year this year. Best in the AL last year, unanimously.
Yes.
But and then this Tigers team is just going to be like they're in rebuilding. They're a young team. They got some young talent coming up, so they'll be an interesting team to watch. I don't see them having a good season. I see them being the cellar dwellers in the AL Central. For this game, it's another one that I'm just going to sit back and watch. Cleveland dealt away Cookie and Lindor, and they're downgrading. They made a couple pickups, but nothing that's going to really give me confidence in this team. Yes, Shane Bieber's on the mound, so if anything, maybe Cleveland Indians first 5 innings, but I'm not going to make that an official pick. And this is one that I'd rather stay away from. I'm definitely going to be interested in watching the Tigers this year, see what the young guns can do over there. But this one will be another game that I pass on.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I'm not going to have any action on this game either. Maybe laying the half a run on the first five, hoping maybe that the Indians have a 1-0 lead at the end of the fifth inning. Totally understandable. Shane Bieber is a very talented pitcher, and if there's going to be one thing that this Indians team is going to have this year, it's going to be pitching. They're very talented with being able to develop pitching and stuff like that. But overall, for this game, I'm not going to get to any action on this one. So I'm not gonna have too much action for the first week or so. So there's gonna be a lot of passing here on the show for me. But we're gonna be going with no action on this one. But we're going to be heading to our next game here, 2 o'clock game. We have the Baltimore Orioles taking on the Boston Red Sox. -165 for the Red Sox, +152 for the Orioles. Over under of 9.5 runs for this game. Your opinions on this one?
This will be a very, very similar situation to last game. Baltimore is going to be one of the worst teams in the league. If not, no, I don't think they're going to be the worst team in the league. I have the Pirates and maybe even Texas being worse than them. But they're going to be another team where you're going to get some young talent, hopefully coming up soon, and hopefully you could see them win some games. They're not going to be crazy good this year. Same deal with the Red Sox. They've lost a couple pieces, just not a spot that I want to get to. Red Sox are going to be middle of the pack team at best, but not going to be really too interesting going after this game. The pitchers are meh, and I don't really want to get an edge on this one. Maybe if it was midway through the season, we had a little bit more statistics behind it, I'd be able to pick a side and really go after it. I don't know what we're going to get out of the Boston Red Sox this year, and Baltimore is going to be a shit show. So, not really too interested in going after this game either.
Yeah, I don't have too much interest in this game. If I had a gun to my head, I would probably take the Baltimore Orioles. I think John Means is going to have a bounce back year here this year as the number one starter for the Baltimore Orioles. But I don't have too much expectations for this team. I mean, their second, I think their number two is Matt Harvey. So I don't know how serious you can really take this Baltimore team. They do have decent hitting. Trey Mancini is back. He came back from cancer, so good on him for that. Santander is going to be looking pretty good this year. Hayes is a decent bat in the middle of the order. I feel like this is going to be a close series. These two teams will play each other 18 times, and I think this is going to be maybe like a 10-8 type of series where I think these two teams are more even than people think they are. I think the Red Sox will still have decent hitting. These two teams, their pitching is not going to be great, but they're going to be able to hit the snot out of the ball. You're going to get runs from this game, so maybe the overs will look for this, but I'm not looking too much at totals for right now. I do have one total play on the slate, but I'm not looking at it at anything for this game. Definitely looking at something for this next game, though. We have a 2 o'clock game here between the Minnesota Twins and the Milwaukee Brewers. In Milwaukee, we're going to have a basically pick'em price, -106 for the Twins, -104 for the Brewers, over under of 8 goals for this game. We're going to get Kenta Maeda versus Brandon Woodruff. This is going to be a fun matchup. I'll go first on this one because I really like this matchup. I've already bet this game, and I took the Minnesota Twins here, -106. Kenta Maeda is, I think, a very talented starter. He's going to have a great year this year for Minnesota. Minnesota is one of my picks for one of the top teams in the American League to give the Yankees a run for the pennant and the Astros a run for the pennant. This is a very deep lineup. Max Kepler, Josh Donaldson, they got Cruz, Polanco, Sano, Garver, Buxton, Arias. I mean, they have a very talented lineup here. So I'm going to be all over this Minnesota Twins here. -106 for this game. Your thoughts on this game?
I'm going to be on the opposite side as you. I'm going after the Milwaukee Brewers in this game. I'm pretty high on them this season. I think they're going to be I have them as my favorites to win the National League Central over the Cardinals. Their pitching is getting solid. Their bullpen's getting better. They finally have healthy bats, and I feel like they can really make a push. Woodruff is going to be a very sneaky pitcher. I'm not sure if I don't see him as like an all-star or anything, but I definitely think he's going to have a quite solid year. Kenta Maeda is good, but the biggest question mark for me is going to be the Minnesota Twins bullpen. So most of the time on opening day, you're going to get these pitchers going 6 innings max. So going, it is okay to look at the pitchers, but the Twins losing Trevor May in their bullpen is it's just very very shaky for me. I feel like this game will be competitive going out, and then once the Brewers get to the Twins bullpen, I feel like it's gonna end up cracking there, and I think the Brewers are gonna be able to win this game.
Yeah, that is one thing that really worries me about my Twins bet. Probably the only thing is if this Brewers team has a lead towards the end of the game between, I believe, Williams and Hader, this is a shutdown bullpen for the Milwaukee Brewers. That's why I think they're a very solid wild card team this year. I still like St. Louis over them in the division, though. And I like the Twins more than I like the White Sox. I think this White Sox team, or the White Sox team, which we're going to get to later in the video, so I'm not going to go over them now. But I like this Twins team a lot. I think they're definitely a World Series contender this year. So we're split on this one. So it's going to be an interesting game to see. I'm definitely going to be watching this game to see what happens. But I like the Twins, and I know you like the Brewers. So our first go against for the season, we'll see who wins more of those. Our next game is not going to be as interesting. We have the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Chicago Cubs, minus 210 for these Cubs, plus 192 for the Pirates. And it looks like it's probably going to be Chad Kuhl versus Kyle Hendricks on the mound for this one. I'll get it started here. I don't like either of these teams. I don't. If I had to bet this game, it would be the Pittsburgh Pirates. As crazy as that sounds, I'm very low on the Cubs this year. I think they're a fourth place team in this NL Central division. I think the only team going to be lower than them is the Pirates. But a minus 210 for this Cubs team, I have a feeling we're going to be going later in the season. You're going to see a Cubs game at home against the Pittsburgh Pirates, and there'll be maybe a minus 135, minus 140 type of favorite rather than a minus 210. I think the value is definitely on the Pirates here. Obviously, I'm not going to be going out and betting Pittsburgh day one here. This game is going to be a pass for me, but Chicago lost a lot during the offseason. And if they struggle this year, I can see Chris Bryant and Anthony Rizzo being traded at the trade deadline. So this game is going to be an overall pass for me. I have no interest in betting this game. These are two teams where I just want to look the other way when they play. So no action for me on this game. What about you there, Tim?
Yeah, I'm not betting this one. The line is way too long. Minus 210 for the Cubs is stupid. I'm not gonna put money on that. It's just way too wide of a line, and the Cubs should win this game. Kyle Hendricks is going to be a solid pitcher this year for the Cubs, and that's pretty much all they got. So I agree with your guess on the Cubs not being good this year. I don't see them being that good either. Maybe a third place spot if the Reds trip up and fall, but I don't see them doing much this year. And there's no way I'm putting money on Pittsburgh. I don't think I'll bet Pittsburgh at all this year. It's just not a spot that I want to get to. And throwing a dart at the board and saying, "Oh, Pittsburgh can win that night." No, I'm not going to do that. I just don't like this game. The line's way too long. Pittsburgh sucks. Chicago sucks. This game's going to suck. Not going to be interested.
Yeah, but I know this next game coming up is definitely not going to suck. We have the Philadelphia Phillies hosting the Atlanta Braves, the reigning NL East champion Atlanta Braves. You can get the Philadelphia Phillies for minus 107. You can get the Braves for minus 103. We're going to get Max Fried on the bump for the Atlanta Braves, and he'll be taking on Aaron Nola. I'm going to go to you here first, Tim. What is your thoughts on this one?
I'm going Philadelphia in this game. I've got them at minus 107. Nola should be up there. I'm going to say Nola will probably be upwards of the top 7 pitchers in the National League for Cy Young race. He's going to help carry this Philadelphia team to a 81-81 record like usual in the 4th place spot. But I do have Philadelphia winning. Max Fried is just, I don't know what we're going to get out of him. The pitching on Atlanta was not fantastic last year. It's just a big question mark for me. And I just want to be able to get a little bit more information on the Atlanta Braves, their bullpen, and everything on how they're doing compared to Austin Nola, which I know what I'm going to get out of him. We're probably going to get 5-6 shutout to 1 run innings, 1 run in 5 to 6 innings. I'm going Philadelphia in this matchup. I feel like they'll be able to beat the Braves today or tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going on the opposite side here. I really like this Atlanta team. I mean, I'm probably going to look to bet Atlanta in these spots where they're only a minus 103 here, which I think is an absolute steal. I think Max Fried's going to be one of the top left-handed pitchers in the MLB. This is a very talented roster, top to bottom. They have the reigning NL MVP, Freddie Freeman, and he's honestly not even the best player on that team with Ronald Acuna Jr. They got Ozzie Albies. They re-signed Marcelo Ozuna. They got a very talented catcher in Travis d'Arnaud. Austin Swanson Austin Riley is going to be very good, and then Christian Pache, I think, is going to give a good run for potential NL Rookie of the Year. So this is a really, really talented Atlanta Braves team. I've already bet them at minus 103, and I think that they're going to be able to really they're going to have to get wins against these teams like the Philadelphia Phillies here. And I think they definitely do tomorrow. I like them on the road. Max Fried, I think I like him better than Aaron Nola as well. So give me the Braves here. I know you're on the Phillies, but give me the Braves. Our next game here is the San Diego Padres taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks in San Diego. Minus 225 for the San Diego Padres, plus 204 for the Arizona Diamondbacks. It's going to be Madison Bumgarner versus Yu Darvish on the mound for this one, and I'll give this one a start here. I really like San Diego this year. They're going to be a very talented team. They've made a lot of improvements. They gave the Dodgers a decent run for their money in the playoffs last year. And what do? They only improve themselves better. They pick up Yu Darvish in the offseason. This lineup looks really strong. Tommy Pham leading off. Then, of course, we have Fernando Tatis, Manny Machado, Hosmer, Will Myers, Cronenworth, which competed for Rookie of the Year last year. This is a very talented team in Slam Diego. I really like them to potentially give the Dodgers a run for their money for the division, maybe. But I like this Padres team a lot here. Laying minus 115 to get the run line on this, or minus 225 money line, it's just way too much, though. I'm not going to be laying any type of juice like that. If I'm going to be laying any run lines this year, it's most likely to get plus money. So this game is going to be a pass for me. What is your thoughts on the Slam Diego Padres and the Arizona Diamondbacks?
Looking at this game, I really like the pitching in this one. Yu Darvish and Madison Bumgarner are going at it. I know Bumgarner's probably not in his prime anymore. He had a decent year pitching last year, but there was nothing spectacular. But going on the lines for this one, minus 225 to plus 204, I think that's just a little bit too wide for this pitching matchup. Yu Darvish is fantastic, and I think Bumgarner is going to have a bounce back year. I think that San Diego is going to be I know San Diego is going to be really good this year, but if I would have to put anything on this game, I would lean the Diamondbacks way just for that plus 204 value. But it's just the pitching matchup's really good in this one, so it'd be tough for me to. I'm not going to lay the minus 225. So if anything, I would try to lay the run line on Arizona or go after Arizona money line, but I'm not gonna bet it.
Yeah, I mean, looking at, you mentioned the run line for Arizona. I mean, I don't disagree with that at all. You can get that for minus 105. But the last thing I'm trying to do is take a big dog and turn them into a pick 'em or a slight favorite. So I will probably avoid those plus 1.5 lines unless I get plus money for them still. But yeah, I'm gonna this one's not one I'm gonna have much action on. I definitely want to see what the San Diego Padres do this year. They're gonna be a fun team to watch. And they're going to be fun, especially when we see them against a team playing in this next game. We have the Los Angeles Dodgers taking on the Colorado Rockies. And this Dodgers team is going to be pretty good this year, I think. They might have some potential. You can get them for minus 207 here. The Colorado Rockies plus 189, over under of 11.5 runs for this game, which is higher than any game on this slate. Very high run total for this one. I understand why. It's in Coors. I'll get this one started. It's in Coors, but I kind of like the under in this one a little bit more than anything. I'm not going to be betting it, but my question mark is here. Yes, the Dodgers can rake. Yes, I really like this offense. Mookie Betts, Corey Seager, Justin Turner, Bellinger, Will Smith, Max Muncy, AJ Pollock. I mean, this is a very talented roster for the LA Dodgers. No surprise there. The question with this under is, can the Rockies score? And if I was looking to bet the over, I want two teams I want two dance partners that are going to get me to the over. And I don't know if the Rockies can score enough runs. I can easily see this Dodgers team winning like 8-2 tomorrow, and you don't get the over. This is a Rockies team that's taking a huge step back. They lost Nolan Arenado. The only players they really have on this team is Charlie Blackmon and Trevor Story, which I don't think are going to make it past this year with Colorado. Look for them to be traded at some point in the trade deadline. This is going to be a bad Rockies team. This is a pass for me. Lean towards the under, but I'm just going to pass and look the other way for this game. What's your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, that's probably how I'm going to look at most of these Dodger games this year. If the Dodgers are going to be minus 200 every single game, there's no value in betting that unless they win like 66 plus, 70% of their games, which is definitely possible. But I just don't think that there's enough value there in anything. I'll probably use the Dodgers a lot this year for parlay pieces, and that's pretty much about it. For this game, I don't know. It's just not a good matchup for Rockies at all. They're not going to get many good matchups at all. Anyway, Marquez is not that good of a pitcher. You say that you're leaning the under. I would go over. I think that the Dodgers could put up 10 to 12 runs on the Rockies by themselves, and all the Rockies have to do is score a couple, which in garbage time is possible. I would lean towards the over in this one, but I'm not betting it. This is another game where it's just like, no, thank you.
Yeah, it's just one of those games where you're like, I'm so glad there's 14 other games we can look at because I'm not trying to lay minus 200 on a team that's clearly going to win. Which brings us to our next game, which I really like this game. I have a bet on this one already, so I'll let you start off with this one. It's the Cincinnati Reds and the St. Louis Cardinals. Minus 116 for the Cubs. Or Reds. Wow, I can't think right now. Plus 106 for the Cardinals. Looks like we're going to get Jack Flaherty versus Luis Castillo in this matchup. Your thoughts on this NL Central showdown?
My biggest thing is, why are the Cardinals underdogs in this one? I did grab the Cardinals plus 106 on my line right now. I do like the Cardinals in this matchup. Flaherty is a really solid pitcher. I think he's going to have a really good year this year. Help the Cardinals get a wild card spot and make the playoffs. Maybe not. But I do see the Cardinals having a good year this year. Flaherty, solid pitcher. The biggest concern for the Reds on the other side is their offense. They're running pretty much the same lineup as they did last year, and their offense was horrible. They didn't even score a run in the playoffs in their best of 3 series. It ended up going 2 games, but
yes,
I'm not confident in these Reds at all. If they come out of the gate swinging and actually producing runs, maybe I might look at them a little bit differently. I'm not a fan of the Reds this year. I think they're a 3rd or 4th place team, more practically a 4th place team. I'd prefer the Cardinals in this matchup. I grabbed them plus 106.
Yeah, I'm on that side as well, and I was lucky enough to bet them a couple days ago where I got a couple cents better. I got them at plus 110, so nothing huge, but I saw this line go from plus 110 down to plus 103, back up to plus 106. So this Reds team is going to be very interesting because they were okay last year. They were the 7th seed. They got knocked out by the Braves. And, their offense struggled during that series. They couldn't score a run. I felt bad for Trevor Bauer there. He pitched, I think, 7 shutout innings, one game, 8 shutout innings, and didn't get anything for it because this team couldn't produce any runs. Looking at this Reds team, I'm not confident at all in them this year. Their offense is really, they're leading off Jesse Winker, which is not that great. Castellanos, he'll hit a home run for you here and there. He's not someone I'm excited about. Joey Votto, he's towards the end of his career. Moustakas is probably a little past his prime as well. Eugenio Suarez definitely has some pop on his bat, but it's going to be interesting to see what this Reds team can do this year. I love the Cardinals in this matchup, though. I feel like this line is a little bit disrespectful to what the Cardinals are this year. I love Tommy Edman in leadoff spot. And then behind him, you get Paul Goldschmidt and Nolan Arenado. Like, this is going to be a dominant St. Louis Cardinals lineup when you have those two in the middle of it. And it's also very nice that the Colorado Rockies paid for Nolan Arenado to play for the Cardinals this year. But I really like this St. Louis Cardinals team. I think they're the division winner for this for the NL Central. I think they'll outlast the Brewers by a couple games. But I really like the Cardinals in this spot. Jack Flaherty is a very talented pitcher, and I'm going to go with this St. Louis team at a plus price. One other bet I'm also going to be making in this game is I love this pitching matchup. I like Jack Flaherty, and I really like Luis Castillo as a pitcher as a whole. So what I'm going to be looking at here is the only total I'm betting the whole day. I'm looking at the first 5 innings, taking these bullpens completely out of the mix, and I'm going with the under 4 runs for the first 5 innings. These offenses don't shout crazy at me other than Goldschmidt and Arenado. And these pitchers are very talented. So I'm going with the under 4 runs at minus 120 for these two teams for the first 5 innings. All right, we're going to be heading now to a 4 o'clock game. We have the Texas Rangers and the Kansas City Royals. Minus 162 for the Royals, plus 149 for the Rangers. Over under of 9 runs for this game. Our matchup is going to be Kyle Gibson and Brad Keller. All right, I'll get this one started here. This game sucks. But being legit, Brad Keller I think is going to be a little bit better of a pitcher this year for this Kansas City team. I think they're going to be sneaky good. Maybe a 76 to 78 win team. They just got Benintendi in the offseason. They still have Jorge Solar. They got Mondesi. They got Whit Merrifield. They got a decent lineup around them. Their pitching is a big question mark. I think Brad Keller can be a decent number 1 for them. And they're going up against Kyle Gibson and the Texas Rangers, which I think are going to be an absolute joke this year. I think they're going to be that last place team in the NL West. I just don't have too much hope for this Texas Rangers team this year. I mean, their pitching sucks. This Kyle Gibson, I don't think would be a starting pitcher for almost any other team, and he's a number 1 for this Texas Rangers team. This is a team that I'm going to look to fade this year. Unfortunately, I couldn't bet the Royals, or I didn't pull the trigger on the Royals on their opening line at minus 145. It's now gone up to a minus 162. They're beginning to be borderline, probably parlay material. You can probably parlay this team with maybe like the Dodgers, the Padres, or like the Yankees, or the Indians, or something along those lines. But I'm not going to be looking to bet this team or bet this game at all. It's a pass for me. What's your thoughts on this, Tim?
Yeah, Texas is going to be awful this year. It's a rebuilding. They know it's rebuilding. They're just going to have to try to get over that. On the other side, Kansas City is another team that's rebuilding, but they're a little bit further ahead of the Rangers. Their young talent's actually pretty solid. They got the Soler, Mondesi, Merrifield, and it's just going to be a solid overall hitting for them. But if you're looking at this one, looking at this game in general, if I would have to lean one way, I'd rather lean and try to get the plus money in Texas. But this game's going to be, it's not going to be a good one. Two bad teams going up against each other, and whenever there's 2 bad teams, normally I try to go after the underdog, but I don't know. This will be probably a pass for me. It's just not a game I want to bet.
Yeah, for me, this is Royals or nothing, so it's nothing for me. But we're gonna move on to this next game here. We have Tyler Glass now in the Tampa Bay Rays taking on Sandy Alcantara in the Miami Marlins. Minus 144 for these Tampa Bay Rays, plus 133 for these Miami Marlins. And yeah, what are your thoughts on this one?
I'm actually a little bit higher on these Marlins team than most people are. I feel like they could have quite a solid year, maybe even be a 4th place team and pass over the Phillies. Sorry. I think they're going to be a good team. I don't think they're going to be a playoff team, World Series. I don't think any of that. I just think that they have a bunch of young talent, and within the next 5 years or so, they could win a division title and actually be able to be competitive. I don't see that just yet. On the other side, with the Rays, they I feel like they only got worse over the offseason. It's I'm not going to sleep on them because they made the World Series last year. They were solid, but for this game, I'm going after Alcantara and the Marlins. I'm going to pick them up money line plus 133. I just feel like this could be a good spot for Alcantara to really show what he is.
Yeah, looking at this game for me, I think this is Tyler Glasnow's time to shine now with the Tampa Bay Rays. Now that they've gotten rid of Charlie Morton and they lost Ian Snell in the offseason, Tyler Glasnow is going to hop into that number one spot. I think he's going to be a very good pitcher this year. I think this is going to be a very solid year for Glasnow. For me, this for this spot, it's going to be the Rays or nothing for me. I'm not as high on this Miami team. I think they're going to be okay. But I think this is definitely a team. I think that their win total for the year is 72.5. This is probably a team I'm going to bet the under on, or I would bet the under on. I don't bet futures, but I would look on the under for that one. They're going to be beat up by they're going to be beat up by the Mets and the Braves and the Nationals in the top of this division. So this is not a spot where I'm looking to bet the Miami Marlins. I think the Rays are still a very talented team. They made the World Series for a reason. They have great scouting, great analytics team, and a very talented manager as well. So I'm going to pass on this game though. It would be a Rays or nothing situation for me though. I definitely I don't disagree with your plus 133 stab, but I'm not going to be betting it, or I wouldn't look that way though if I were to be betting it. All right, next we're going to be heading to a game. Unfortunately, it's not on my book right now. I don't know why, but we're going to be looking at the New York Mets taking on the Washington Nationals. We're going to get Jacob deGrom on the mound for the Mets, taking on Max Scherzer. The last time I saw this line, it was around a minus 140 for the Mets, plus 120 for the Nationals, over under of 6.5 runs for this game. And I'll get this started here. I love the Mets this year. I know I'm a Mets fan, big deal, but this is a very talented team. They added a lot to this team. They added Lindor, and they added decent bullpen pieces, with Trevor May. They got Carrasco, which unfortunately he's starting the season on the injured list. They added Tejan Walker. They added on Joey Lachucci from the Padres. This Mets team is going to be a competitor this year. But this is a game I'm not going to be betting. I would probably lean towards the Nationals in this matchup, if I would have to be honest. I like the home dog here, plus 120. I'm not betting this game, though, so it's only a lean. I mean, Scherzer has owned the Mets in the past. He's had very good stats against the New York Mets. So it would be a lean towards the Nationals, a lean towards the over for this opening day. But I'm not going to be betting against the Mets on opening day. They have the best winning percentage in the MLB on opening days. I know that doesn't mean anything. But this team is going to be a very good team this year. Definitely a team we would look to back. Maybe in the future, if I get deGrom at a minus 140 or lower, I'll bet him. But not against a Max Scherzer. This is going to be an overall pass for me. I don't want to bet this game. I just want to see what happens. What's your thoughts on this game?
I know this is going to maybe seem biased because I'm wearing a Mets jersey. I am going with Mets today. You can't bet against deGrom. He's going to win the third Cy Young this year. It's just I know I'm a Mets fan and all, but come on. I know Scherzer is a very good pitcher. I just have deGrom and the Mets offense, who has gotten a lot better over the offseason. I have them just over the Nationals in this one. Mets are one of the best historical teams on opening day. I think that continues. I'm grabbing the Mets minus 145, 140, whatever it was, in this game.
All right. Now we're going to move on to our next game. We have 3 10 o'clock games to look at here. Our first game we're going to be looking at here is the Chicago White Sox and the Los Angeles Angels. We are getting the White Sox here at minus 112 now. Unfortunately, I did bet this and the line's moved away from me, where I could have bet a better line right now. You can get the Angels for plus 102. What's your thoughts on this game?
I know you said you're not really high on the White Sox. I'll be one of the people that are. I do have the White Sox winning the division. I have them as my best AL team, even without Eloy Jimenez for the next 5 to 6 months. This team is just really talented. They had a really good year last year. Lucas Giolito is my pick for the AL Cy Young Award winner. Um, so I just feel like this team's going to have a really big year. Uh, and going up against the Angels. I like the Angels this year as well. I think they have a shot at a wild card. My biggest question mark with the Angels is their starting pitching. It's just Bundy as your opening day starter just screams out like yikes. Um, but for this one, I'm going to be going ahead and grabbing the Chicago White Sox minus 112 for it. I just got to back Lucas Giolito in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely there. Yeah, you said I wasn't as high on the White Sox. It's not that I'm not high on the White Sox. I'm higher on the Twins than I am on the White Sox. But I love the White Sox in this spot. This was the first game I bet when I saw these opening lines come out. Unfortunately, it's moved away from me. I bet the White Sox at minus 118. I still love that price because honestly, I would probably bet them at minus 125, minus 130 in this spot because anytime you look this year and you can get the Chicago White Sox with Lucas Giolito starting on the mound lower than minus 130, you bet that game. And you bet Lucas Giolito. He's going to win the AL Cy Young. You said that as well. I think he's got a decent competition he's competing against. I mean, he's only competing against guys like Garrett Cole and Shane Bieber. But he's going to be definitely someone that is going to be up there for that Cy Young. And Dylan Bundy does not excite me. Does not scare me. What does scare me, though, in this game is that starting lineup for the Angels, though, which they've had hitting these past years. They just can't pitch. That's their problem. But Fletcher on that top spot, or on the top spot in the lineup, it's not bad. But then you get Shohei Ohtani, and you get Mike Trout, and you get Rendon, and you get Upton, and you get Pujols. This is not a bad lineup. So, Angels are probably going to be a team I'm going to look to back maybe team total overs, but I'm not going to be backing them in this game. I'd actually like the under for this game too, as well as the White Sox. I mean, we're getting Lucas Giolito, and I can easily see this game being 2-0 by the end of the sixth. So I like the White Sox here. I like the White Sox first five. I like the White Sox full game. I like the probably the team total under for the Angels. Lucas Giolito is gonna have a good game here. Give me the White Sox here minus 112. I unfortunately bet them at minus 118, but nevertheless, I still like that line for that game. Next, we're looking at the Houston Astros and the Oakland Athletics. We're getting Chris Bassett taking on Zach Greinke, minus 106 for the Athletics, minus 104 for the Astros. What's your thoughts on this game?
I don't know what we're going to get out of Zach Greinke. He was meh at best last year, along with most of Astros pitching. It's the bats that really helped him out. On the other side with Chris Bassett, the two starting pitchers in this one are just big question marks to me. I'm curious to see what both rotations will be able to do for the Astros and Athletics. It's just the big thing is going to be the offenses. I think the Astros have a lot stronger of an offense. I think that Astros have a lot stronger pitching. Bullpen, I think that Astros just beat out Athletics in all departments. I'm not necessarily betting them right now. I'm going to be passing on this game, but this one's just a big question mark for me and nothing that I want to go after.
Yeah, this is a game where since I've saw the opening line, I've gone back and forth and back and forth. And honestly, I don't have a play on this one. This is just one that's twisting my mind a little bit too much. I like both these teams. I think they're going to both have decent years. I think these are potentially the top two teams in this West division. I love the Astros, even though they've lost George Springer and they don't have Verlander this year due to Tommy John surgery. This is still a hell of a lineup. They still got Bradley back. They got Bregman. They got Alvarez. They got Correa. They got Altuve still. Gurriel is still a great hitter. This is going to be a good lineup. This is going to be a decent team. People are ready for this Astros team to be done. They're ready for this cheating team to be done. And I don't think they are. On this Oakland side, they continue to make something out of nothing every single year. And unfortunately, their budget on their team leaves them vulnerable to losing players, which really sucks to see because they did lose, honestly, their best player in the offseason with Marcus Semien. He is now with the Blue Jays. But they still got Laureano, still got Matt Olson, they still got Chapman, they still got Conha, they still got Moreland, Andrews, they got the ghost of Jed Lowry. So, I mean, this is going to be a decent athletics team as well. They're going to make something out of nothing, and then in the offseason they're going to lose an all-star like they usually do. I was talking all this for a pass for this game, really, though. I don't know which side to go to, and this is just a pass for me. I can't even give you guys a lean because maybe I'll lean towards the Oakland Athletics for the home field advantage. But other than that, like, I don't know how to separate these teams right now. This line is lined perfectly as they pick them. Kind of like our last game here. We got the San Francisco Giants and the Seattle Mariners. Minus 108 for the Giants, minus 102 for the Mariners. We're getting Kevin Gausman here taking on Marco Gonzalez. And looking at this game, Marco Gonzalez kind of gives me Dallas Keuchel vibes. He's not anyone exciting. He's not a big name off the paper. He's not going to strike out many batters, but he's going to give you 6-7 innings every time he goes out there, which is huge if your bullpen's not the greatest, like we don't know about Seattle. Seattle's going to be a fun team. They're going to be a young team. Haniger's on the leadoff spot. I like Ty France. Seager's going to be good. Evan White looked pretty decent last year. Moore looked decent last year. This is going to be an interesting team. I think their team total is going to be an over. I think it's a 73.5 right now or something along those lines. I like Seattle to go over that total, but I think this is going to be a sneaky team that they always give us hope in the beginning of the year just to destroy our dreams to see Seattle do anything in this league. So it is a pass here for me between these two teams, slightly in towards the Mariners. What's your thoughts on this game?
This one will be where my last play of the day is. I am actually going to be taking Seattle for this one. I grabbed them at the minus 102 price. I think that they're just going to be an overall just a sneaky team this year. And going up against a Giants team that doesn't impress me, doesn't interest me. They're just not – they're going to be a meh team at best. If anything, they're going to be a little bit below average. I'd rather go after a young team in the Seattle Mariners than going after the San Francisco Giants in this one.
Yeah, I got you. All right, so a quick recap of our plays. For Tim, he's taken the Milwaukee Brewers minus 105 versus the Twins. He likes the Phillies minus 108 now versus the Braves. He's taken the Cardinals plus 106 versus the Reds. He likes the Miami Marlins plus 133 versus the White Sox. Or versus the Rays. He likes the White Sox minus 112 versus the Angels. And he's taking the Mariners minus 102 versus the Giants. I like the White Sox as well at minus 112. I took the St. Louis Cardinals when they were at plus 110. I like the Atlanta Braves. I took them at a minus 103. We're going to go with the first 5 under as well for St. Louis and Cincinnati under 4 runs. I'm going with the Minnesota Twins now at minus 105. And I'm taking the run line for the New York Yankees at plus 115. All right, let's head back to here. And we're going to expand you out. And move ya. There we go. But that is going to just about do it for this video. Going to be a fun slate of MLB tomorrow. But remember to like, comment, and subscribe as always. Any comments before we head on out here, Tim?
Super excited for opening day. LGM, baby.
Oh, yeah. Let's do this. All right. I want to